I'm Christopher Zweig, and this week on CJ at the Movies, I got a lineup of new films, including the prequel to the Hunger Games franchise, another sequel to Trolls, Nicolas Cage as the man of your dreams, literally, and two films directed by Todd Haynes and Emerald Fennel. Let's take a look. Our first movie is The Hunger Games, The Ballad of Songbirds and Snakes, the prequel to the popular franchise, which hit some good notes but misses the targets. In fact, I didn't even care to watch the trailers for this movie, which takes us back to the earlier days of Cornelius Snow, who will eventually transition into the villain played by Donald Sutherland. For now, he's played by Tom Blyth, and he must be the mentor for his tribute Lucy Gray Bird, played by Rachel Zegler, who is best known for her singing.
I just want to know that somebody still cared about me, that I was still of value.
Welcome to the Capitol.
You look like you shouldn't be here.
I shouldn't, but I'm your mentor.
A rebel.
This is the 10th annual Hunger Games, which you all know has the rule that only one champion can survive. Snow takes such a liking to this girl that he's even willing to cheat his way into saving her.
There's a natural goodness built into us all. We can step across that line into evil, or not.
The Hunger Games, The Ballad of Songbirds and Snakes was once again directed by Francis Lawrence, who makes the film look great and has some likable performances, but doesn't have the kind of story to really take us inside the early days of Snow. It all becomes overlong and derivative, and after the games were over, I just didn't care. Sorry about that, kids. Next up, we have Trolls Band Together, the threequel to the DreamWorks animation franchise, with a concept that sounds better than it plays like. The movie likes to remind people of Justin Timberlake's early days with NSYNC by having his character Branch being the youngest brother of the boy band Brozone, who broke up because they weren't in sync. Pun intended.
Branch, we're out of sync. We've gone from boys to men, and now there's only one direction for us to go. The back streets.
It's time we find the rest of our brothers and get the band back together. Rosamund!
We're gonna have the best family reunion ever. Brozone 2.0. Brozone reunion. Brozone, here we bro again. Brozone, where'd they bro? I don't know. We're gonna find them.
That's Anna Kendrick, also back as Branch's girlfriend Poppy, who also has a sibling story, a long-lost sister Viva, voiced by Camila Cabello, whom you may remember 2 years ago as Cinderella.
Did you just braid my hair?
You're welcome. It looks so good.
I love it.
Is your dad King Peppy?
Yeah?
Poppy, I'm your sister.
My what?
Whoa. Hey man, am I the only one without a long-lost sibling?
Trolls Band Together brings back the boy band nostalgia by reuniting NSYNC for a new song and cameo, and that's exciting. But the problem with the sequel is it doesn't broaden its horizons, like the last entry did. It relies on jokes about Dr. Seuss puppets suffering from pink eye and the Kenan Thompson voice character Tiny Diamond getting a fake ID named Adulty McMahon Face, which is far cry from McLovin. There are catchy medley versions of hit songs and a colorful look, but there's too much sugar energy for it to be entertaining. Next up, May December, the latest movie from Todd Haynes and inspired by a true story about a teacher-student relationship which made the papers and started a family. In this movie, Julianne Moore plays a former pet shop employee and Charles Melton is her very young customer and lover, and they're both greeted by Natalie Portman, who is set to portray her in a biopic.
When they sent me the script, I thought, here is a woman with a lot more to her than I remember from the tabloids.
What would make a 36-year-old woman have an affair with a 7th grader?
Portman is willing to get into character while the romance between the famous couple begins to deteriorate.
Why can't we talk about it? If we're really as in love as we say we are?
I did some research on this subject long after the film was over, and it was a lot for me to digest, especially when it comes to age differences. May December is serious, funny, and complex in Haynes' direction and the way it alters a real-life story with a question of choices and outcomes. The performances are nomination-worthy, especially by Portman, Moore, and Melton, and it takes you in and has you thinking long after it's over. Next up is Dream Scenario with Nicolas Cage in a Charlie Kaufman-type role as a college professor who literally has been on a lot of people's minds lately. People see him standing in their dreams, no one knows why this is happening, but Cage becomes a sensation with a chance to even publish the book he's working on.
Somebody wants to interview me.
This is strange. Maybe you should take a minute and think before you do anything drastic.
Unfortunately for him, the dreams turn into nightmares which depict him as a killer, and therefore everyone starts to turn against him.
Maybe we should cool this thing off.
What? What do you mean?
It's embarrassing.
Which part?
That cliche starts to get irritable, but it's all painted in a wickedly funny and dangerously wise manner by director Christopher Borgli and producer Ari Aster. It's one where we really do question our dreams. Why do we dream specific ones? And what strange things can come out of them? Cage delivers with complexity and vulnerabilities that also questions the reality of his character. Dream Scenario is an original horror comedy. And our last movie is Saltburn, the next movie from promising young woman filmmaker Emerald Fennel, and while it doesn't exceed that film because of how complicated the story gets, it still takes you in for a summer you'll never forget. Barry Keoghan stars as a college student finding himself a rich friend played by Jacob Elordi who invites him to stay at a Saltburn estate for the summer.
They've got problems.
What kind of? What do you mean, problems?
I don't think I'll ever go home again.
Well, why don't you come home with me? Come to Saltburn.
The rich student's family, featuring Rosamund Pike and Richard E. Grant in the mix, is quite eccentric. I guess you could say that as their guest spends the summer here, he acts like he owns the place, especially the way he talks the talk with various family members.
You're so,
So what?
real.
Can't have been easy for Venetia. With you being a mother.
Why?
Again, Saltburn doesn't top Promising Young Woman, but it does make you want to know what this summer will unfold for everyone. It's one when you're thinking, what the F, and amazed at what twists emerge within the screenplay. Fennel is one of our most distinguished female filmmakers who is willing to do anything, and I mean anything, to open our minds to the infinite possibilities that a what the F movie can offer. Some of the choices are more unholy than others, but let's save that for when you see this movie and talk to me about it afterwards. Okay, recapping this week's new movies, thumbs down for The Hunger Games, The Ballad of Songbirds and Snakes, thumbs down for Trolls Band Together, thumbs way up for May December, thumbs way up for Dream Scenario, and thumbs up for Saltburn. Well, those are the new movies I'm reviewing this week. I'm Christopher Zweig. Stay safe, and I'll see you at the movies. For more amazing content, please like and subscribe to my channels, and please read my reviews at cjatthemovies.com and download the new HD Radio app.